Wow, just wow. Dragon Ball Super Episode 57, Advent of the Immortal God Zamasu. this this episode was pretty good. It felt if only all the fights, if only all the episodes in Dragon Ball Super could be like these last two episodes. But let's get into it. Dragon Ball Super Episode 57, Advent of the Immortal God Zamasu. So, jumping in to actually summarize what happened. This week, in the first half of the episode, we got a pretty darn well animated fight scene with Goku and Trunks versus Zamasu and Black. So, credit must go to the translations and summary of the episode to Herms98 on Twitter, because I watched the episode live tonight. So yeah, get into it. So we have Zamasu and Black pointing out that they're basically comrades. So we didn't really get anything more in depth on what or who Black is just yet. But yeah, so we get into it, and we get another fight between Zamasu and Goku. Now, at this point, I don't know if it's the present Zamasu that's back in the past, or if it's a future Zamasu. But by the end of the episode, we realize it's actually a future Zamasu, apparently. So, get into it. Zamasu points out that his ideal world doesn't need mortals, and that Goku's supposed to be his prey. You know, the usual Zamasu talk. Yeah, the usual Zamasu stuff. So yeah, we get an awesome fight between Goku and Zamasu, and eventually Goku Black joins in, tag teaming Goku. And eventually Trunks joins in as a Super Saiyan 2. And surprisingly, they're doing pretty well at first against the both of them. It's surprising how Trunks can actually even fight these guys, since he's nowhere near Goku and Vegeta's level, but power scaling, I don't know. But yeah, so Zamasu says Goku's supposed to be his prey, and Black says he wanted to fight him in his body. So we continue the fight, and eventually the fight splits off with Goku versus Goku Black, and Goku making use of the instant transmission. And apparently, yes, Goku Black does know the instant transmission as well. Trunks goes on to fight Zamasu, and we get a scene where he actually stabs Zamasu. And then, based on the translations we're getting from Herms, Zamasu points out, "This immortal body, this is what it means to be a god. How befitting for me." So, it might be a case that he used the Dragon Balls or something of the sort to wish for immortality, because we get to see Trunks stab him, and then it doesn't have any effect apparently. He pulls out the sword and the wound just heals up. And Zamasu goes on to thank the Saiyans because their strength has given him an immortal body. Not sure what that means exactly, but we'll find out. So eventually it gets to the point where Goku Black and Zamasu are overpowering Trunks. And Goku as well. So eventually Goku goes over to where Trunks is fighting Zamasu, and then Zamasu grabs the both of them. While I absolutely love this scene, Goku Black charges up a Kamehameha, but Masako Nozawa, if I'm pronouncing her name right, voice actress for Goku, she did an awesome job saying that Kamehameha. Like, it just sounded so cool. So apparently, since Zamasu is immortal, he just tanks the hit. Oh, and one thing that I should note before this, I missed out. It's kind of like fan service, probably. But Trunks apparently knows the final flash. Who, when, or where he learned it? Most likely from Vegeta, obviously. But that was a surprise. We didn't even see him learn it. But yeah. So back to my main point. So Zamasu tanks the final flash. But going back to where I was before, yeah, Goku Black, Zamasu holds Trunks and Goku while Goku Black fires off a Kamehameha, hitting all three. Zamasu tanks it. Goku and Trunks are in critical condition after this. And we see, at one point I was wondering if it was a spirit bomb. I don't know why I think that, I'm not sure, but it just looked like it. But yeah, Zamasu and Black charge up this giant energy blast about to finish them off. And then, out of nowhere, a blast hits them. And of course, it's Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue using up the last of his energy apparently. So, yeah, so they decided they're gonna finish off Vegeta since Trunks and Goku are still nearby and they're basically out of it. And it's at this point, I think this might be the one problem with the episode. The Resistance, Maya and the Resistance come in and help Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks escape. They apparently fire some tear gas or something to obscure Zamasu and Black's vision, and I don't know. To me, it just makes no sense. That might be my only complaint with this episode, and it really goes back to the question of how is it that Mai and the remaining humans who confronted Black directly before Trunks and the gang got there, how is that they managed to escape? It's like Black doesn't want to kill these people. I don't know. But yeah, moving on. So eventually, you see Yajirobe rescuing Trunks and Goku, leaving Vegeta behind. And then Trunks asks about what about Vegeta? Well, Yajirobe pointing out that he can only carry 2 of them, and explaining how heavy they are. So eventually, yeah, as I was mentioning, the tear gas from the Resistance, and they eventually do rescue Vegeta, and they get out of there, temporarily retreating. So Mai meets up with them, and surprise, surprise, she pops out the time machine. And going from there, they get Trunks, Goku, and Vegeta into the time machine and send them out back to the past, where present Trunks and Bulma find them pretty much beat up. Going back to Universe 10, where present Zamasu and Gowasu are, surprisingly, Gowasu is watching the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament, specifically the Goku versus Hit fight. And we see Zamasu coming in, and they see Goku transform into a Super Saiyan God, and Zamasu can tell it's God Ki from just looking on the TV. And apparently Gowasu explains to them that the tournament is basically over the Super Dragon Balls. Well, that's one of the rewards essentially, which obviously leads to the next plot point in terms of what will happen next in the story. So Zamasu goes outside, and eventually he goes to Zuno, who, you know, that all-knowing person from the Universe 6 versus the Universe 7 arc, and he asks about the location of the Super Dragon Balls apparently, and that's basically your episode. Now I must say, as I mentioned before, the animation, the fight sequence in the first half of this episode was damn good. Like, it may be even better than the Goku versus Hit fight. Like, it was really fast-paced, it was really good, you could really feel the tension there, so that's like a definite plus for the episode. The scenario of Zamasu being immortal, that's... And the fact that he's so much more powerful than before since he can go up against Super Saiyan Blue Goku, that's really not a problem, since we clarified by the end that this is a future Zamasu, so he may have gained immortality plus trained, and since it's like 17 years into the future, it's fair to say that he can match Super Saiyan Blue Goku. So at this point, Zamasu seems to be equal with Black. That's something to note as well. And I must say, it's crazy how the mystery of Black, it's really something that we're speculating in this community. Some people say it's Gowasu, but We're yet to find out. And going back to what I was saying before, the one problem with this episode is really the resistance and that tear gas. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about that. It might be the one negative about this episode, as I mentioned before. This episode really continued on from the trend that last episode was setting in terms of building the tension. So since Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks have been beaten, what's gonna happen next now? And based on the next episode preview at the end of the episode, Zamasu does in fact make a wish on the Super Dragon Balls for immortality, perhaps. We'll just have to wait and see. But I must say this episode was definitely up there in probably the top 5 as well. Dragon Ball Super been doing pretty good with these episodes, I'm not gonna lie. So there you have it. That's my review, guys. I really hope you enjoy that. Again, I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm really working on, I guess, structuring these reviews. I don't know if some of my earlier reviews were better, but there you have it. Eventually, one thing to know before I go, yes, apparently in the preview we tells Goku that Zamasu asks Zuno about him, so he apparently knows everything about Goku. So that might tie in and explain, if the theory of Zamasu creating Black is true, it would explain why Black wasn't surprised to see Super Saiyan Blue. So there's a tie-in there. So I guess we'll wait and see. But I hope you enjoyed this review. Like, share, comment, and if you want more of these reviews, if you think there's something I can improve on, let me know in the comment section below. And see you on the next one.